Morning students. Today we are going to discuss about the subject software engineering. Now we are going to discuss some of the topics under the first unit, that is definition of software engineering, goals of software engineering, benefits of software engineering, and finally project size categories. Next, introduction to software engineering. Before defining about software engineering, we just define what is meant by a software is. A software is a collection of computer programs, procedures, rules with associated documentation and data. Now we just define what is meant by software engineering. A software engineering is the technological and managerial discipline concerned with the systematic production and maintenance of software products that are developed and modified on time and within cost estimates. Next, goals of software engineering. The main goal of software engineering is to satisfy user requirements with high reliability, with low maintenance cost, and it must be able to deliver on a particular time with high performance and ease of reuse. Next, benefits of software engineering. Through this software engineering, knowledge and tools can be implemented in an advanced manner and it can able to manage the software projects in a better way. And finally, the state of methods and tools can be implemented in a good way. Next, we are going to discuss about project size categories. So first we define what is meant by a project is. A project is a step-by-step activity towards common objective to obtain a complete product. There are 6 types of projects, that is trivial projects, small projects, medium projects, large projects, very large projects and extremely large projects. Now we are going to discuss about each and every projects. Now, trivial projects. Trivial projects requires only one programmer and the time duration is 1 to 4 weeks and the size of the program is less than 500 source lines or source code and the need for formal analysis, design documentation and test planning is very limited in this trivial projects. Next, small projects. Small projects also requires one programmer and the time duration to complete this small projects is 1 to 6 months and the size of the program contains 1000 to 2000 lines of source code. And finally, the need for formal analysis, design documentation and test planning can be standardized in this small projects. Next, medium projects. 2 to 5 programmers are required to complete this medium projects and the time duration is 24 months, that is 2 years. The size of the program contains 10,000 to 50,000 lines of source code. And finally, the interactions among programmers and communication with the customers are very essential to develop this medium size projects. Next, large projects. Large projects requires 5 to 20 programmers and the time duration to complete this large projects is about 2 to 3 years and large projects contains 50,000 to 1 lakh lines of source code. Team of programmers are involved to complete the task and finally systematic processes and formal reviews are essential to develop this large projects. Next, we are going to see about very large projects. Very large projects requires 100 to 1000 programmers. The time duration is about 4 to 5 years and the size of the program contains 1 million lines of source code and finally team of programmers are involved to complete the overall task. And finally, we are going to see about extremely large projects. This projects requires 2000 to 5000 programmers. The time duration is up to 10 years and the size of the program contains 1 million to 10 million lines of source code. And finally, it includes real-time processing, telecommunication, multitasking and distributed processing. Later, we'll discuss some of the other topics. Thank you, students.